It was another weekend of chaos in college basketball, and the new bracket projection reflects that. The teams on the top line survived, but there is some churning right below that.
While the number 1 seeds remain the same, 3 of the 4 teams that were number 2 seeds in the bracket posted Friday lost. One of those is still on the number 2 line, but further down. That team is Duke, which lost to new number 2 seed Louisville at home. Florida State, which is the only previous number 2 seed to win last weekend, makes it 3 ACC teams on the top line of the bracket. You'll have to scan much further down before you find another team from that league.
The 4th number 2 seed is Dayton, which needed overtime to win at St. Louis on Friday. The Flyers moved up 1 line in the bracket from Friday. St. Louis also moved up, from first 4 out to last 4 in. That is just another example of the notion that losses do not always mean losing position relative to other teams in the bracket. It always depends on the nature of the loss, what other teams around that team in the bracket did, and what that team's previous opponents did. It's never just about you.
West Virginia, a loser at Iowa State on Saturday, and Butler, which fell at DePaul, both dropped down from number 2 seeds to number 4 seeds. There is very little difference between the number 2 seeds and the number 4 seeds. And, yes, that includes Rutgers, which finds itself on the number 4 line today. Do not adjust your screen. You read that correctly. Rutgers is a number 4 seed in this morning's bracket.
Click here to see where your team is in Palm's latest bracket and seed list.
Seeding the SEC. In the SEC, Auburn and Kentucky are the highest-seeded teams. Each is a number 5 seed in the bracket. They have very different resumes. Auburn has yet to beat a sure NCAA tournament team, although NC State is in today's bracket. The Tigers have lost 2 straight after starting the season 15-0. Kentucky has good wins over Michigan State and Louisville, but also losses to Utah, South Carolina and Evansville, which is arguably the worst loss by any team in the at-large portion of the bracket.
Without those losses, Kentucky would be competing for a number 1 seed. Those are not going away though, and the big wins needed to erase those from memory are not coming anymore. The SEC does not have a team Kentucky can beat that would resonate with the selection committee. Michigan State and Louisville will have to do for the Wildcats, and they need to avoid any more losses like the ones they already have if they want any kind of decent seed in March.
Almost perfect 10, the Big Ten is still the strongest and deepest league, and that is also reflected in the bracket. 10 Big Ten teams are in today's field, although in the end, 8 or 9 are more likely numbers. However, none of the teams today are seeded higher than a 3, and if nobody figures out a way to win a conference game on the road against some of the better teams, that is likely to still be the case in March.
Sunday swap, BYU again had to be swapped down a line to make the bracket work so the Cougars could avoid playing on Sunday. Northern Iowa from the Missouri Valley Conference was moved up to make room for BYU.
Jerry Palm started writing about sports on the Internet right after Al Gore invented it. He was the first to bring RPI out in the open and is one of the pioneers of predicting the March Madness bracket. Full bio.